You ready, little butt? Are you ready? Oh, that's a dog who's ready right there. Look at that face. Woo! Hello, everyone. It's Monday. It's Houston with a problem. It's still speculation station. And oh my goodness, we found out that another $10 billion or more dollars have been injected into Bed Bath & Beyond, or the corpse of it. That is now the shell company known as Butterfly, the going concern. Now, why on Thursday would somebody put $10 billion into a dead company? Right, they're dead. It's gone. You lost your shares. It's over. So then why is $10 billion there suddenly? What possible reason could anyone have to put $10 billion into a company in the form of debt, like they're a creditor, if they're not expecting to at least get $10 billion or more out of it? I wish my beard was longer right now so I could like stroke it all the way down. Here's my theory. This gentleman, Brandon Adams Meadows, who we think is the same Brandon Meadows who's associated with Addison Capital. Could be wrong. Could be a different Brandon Meadows. I don't know how many Brandon Meadows there are. But there's a Brandon Meadows associated in finance, and that's the first one that pops up when you go searching for it. And this guy might be a proxy. Someone may be using him to do other things, such as maybe a Carl Icahn or someone who's super squirrely, right? Now, there are probably still creditors, similar to the way JP Morgan was before this bankruptcy, that are creditors that you might not want to have access to your company, right? And they're still owed money. And in this process that is basically like, hey, we can't give you money, so we have to give you equity, and they become part of this company, and you may not want to be associated with them. So you inject a huge amount of cash into the company via this gigantic admin priority debt of $10 billion or more dollars, and you use that to pay off the pieces of shit you don't want in it. Like, yeah, I don't want these people in here. Bye-bye. You're paid off. You're done. You have no more claims. It's over. You then have, I don't know, $9 billion or more dollars left over. Now, it was speculated when this most recent wave of things happened at the end of last month that there could be a cash payout. It was let slip through Schwab that it could be a $25 payout for shareholders, etc. A lot of the shills are all over Reddit and the other social media being like, where's the money for the payout going to come from? $10 billion, right? So let's play the assume the worst game. Okay. And it's going to involve calculators, which, before we get there, I should probably just get this out of the way. Shabam. Oh, that's over. Off. Okay, calculator game. Okay, we are going to go to our calculator. Got a calculator. Oops, not the Google Earth. I need Google Earth. That's the little lady I need. Okay, this is the assume the worst game. Let's just assume $10 billion in cash is going to head out to shareholders. Again, worst case scenario for the shorts. So we're going to assume the worst for the shorts in this case. So you got $10 billion. Okay, now, some list total shares outstanding as 700 million and change. Others list total shares outstanding as 117 million, right? Let's just assume the float is somewhere around that. So around 117 million. So we're going to divide that sucker by 1. Oops. 7. Right? So we got a cash payout of $85 a share. Nah, I don't think it's going to be that much, but again, we're doing worst case scenario for the shorts in this situation. Okay, the shorts, let's say they shorted 5 billion shares, which some estimates over the course of this bankruptcy show that, yeah, it could be around 5 billion shares. We're looking at hundreds of days of them shorting millions and millions of shares a day, plus whatever they shorted ahead of that time, and they never bother closing it. So let's say it's 5 billion shares. Okay, how much money are they going to owe in PILs when that happens? $427 billion in cash. Almost instantaneously. Poof! Right? They done. Okay, so they owe $427 million cash. Do the market makers have that money on hand? Do the hedge funds have that cash on hand? No. All of their capitals instantly just vaporized in these PILs. Okay. We also saw this week that some of the fee statements of the lawyers were for 7 different companies going public out of Butterfly. 1 for 7, 7 for 1, whatever you want to call it. 7 companies could be the Butterfly split off. So if we're looking at it, a giant payout of $10 billion plus equity in 7 different companies, not only would they have $427 billion pay off, it might be as low as $50 billion, whatever, it's a lot that they're going to have to pay off in PILs almost immediately for all the shares they shorted and all the shares they borrowed. But now, instead of being short on 5 billion shares, they're now short on 35 billion of them if it's 1 for 1 for the equity distribution of all 7 of those companies. This sets a floor price of $85 plus whatever the equity is valued at for any of these companies that come out of this thing. It could be, there's speculation that could be Toys R Us and Lego and all sorts of different private companies that are making money, right? Floor price on a stock like Lego is probably around $50 to $100. So, we might have a floor price of those 7 shares combined upwards of $300 to $700 for all 7 of those companies, plus the $85 distribution. This means rocket ship time. This means when Marge calls and she's like, "Hello, hedge fund. You don't have any money and I need to liquidate you. You got 1 day to come up with cash." And they're like, "Well, I just spent all my cash on this payment in lieu. So we're going to liquidate you." And then you're done. Poof. Just domino effect. This bankruptcy is not your normal bankruptcy. This bankruptcy is a revenge movie. They're getting their revenge. They're basically doing a twist on my Honeypot Holdings idea by paying out a bunch of cash, draining every single solitary market maker and hedge fund who shorted this thing of any cash liquidity they have, with no hope of getting any more. Because the prime brokers will almost instantaneously have to start covering these positions because the liquidation of these hedge funds are not going to do it. So, this is going to be awesome. Okay, so now what we're waiting for, now we've got news that there's this huge amount of cash in here. Now we're just waiting for the stupid SEC documents to appear to figure out if, when, how there's a distribution of any kind to shareholders. So twiddle those thumbs some more. We're excited. We all have boners, but we are twiddling those thumbs and waiting for sweet release. Yeah, just look at this thing, right? Go here. Go to Chrome. Shaboom, shabing. Which one? This one, right? Yeah, that one. Okay, done. All right, so this is the filings. If you go to Kroll Restructuring and search for claim 18124, you will find Mr. Brandon Meadows. Now, he had some claims that were over $1 billion from back in the summertime. It looks like those may be gone, but this new one appeared on the 26th, date filed 26th, of $10 billion. That's the admin priority. There's also 2 other secured and admin priority ones that come out to $850 million and change. Admin priority gets paid out before even the PIL or the first in last out. So the FILO. So these guys, there's something happening here. $10 billion, 850 million, 164,733, blah, 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 blah. Now, apparently when Holly Etlin filed the paperwork for what claimants can claim, the maximum you could claim was $10 billion. So if you guys remember that movie, the series on Chernobyl, when they talked about like the dosimeters being like, well, it's only 5 million units. And they're like, but that's the maximum the reading can be. It could be more than $10 billion. That's just the maximum that the paperwork allows to be reported. It could be 12 billion. It could be 15 billion. It could be more than that. But they can only claim 10 billion. So here we have $10 billion in secured debt. 10 plus billion secured debt. Why? Why would they do that? Why would anyone inject this freakish amount of cash into a bankrupt company? Por qué? I want to know. Why? Well, I mean, you follow that logical train, it's to do something diabolical. That's the entire purpose of it. The only reason you would do this is to be absolutely as cruel as possible to those who have done you wrong. And they want revenge. And they're going to get it. And they're going to blow them out of the water. And hopefully we're here for it. Hopefully we're here for it, right? Okay. That's my spiel. That's my excitement. That's my... I almost felt like popping another Martinelli's after I read that last night. But it's a little more than crumbs this time. This is like... It's like a bite. Get ourselves a nice forkful of whatever this could be. So tomorrow is Halloween. Tomorrow is the day that Butterfly is required to submit documentation as to who their board members are, who the CEO is, etc. With the New York Department of State, corporate affairs, corporate division, whatever they call it. And also tomorrow is our Charity Tuesday for the month, and it's a special Halloween Charity Tuesday. Expect me to be as sexy as I've ever been. We're going to have an amazing charity. I've got like 7 of them. I still haven't decided which one I'm going to make for our Charity Tuesday, but I hope we might wait. Moass hasn't happened yet, but I hope we can get a big audience and celebrate some records and get the donations going for whatever awesome charity we're going to have. Yeah, so that'll be tomorrow, and folks get ready for it. Okay. Now the spiel's over. To the chat. Bill Coin last. Nuh-uh, you're first, my man. It's Liddy Houston. Hello, chat. Hello, Liddy. Belgian whale. So an orca washed up on a Belgian beach and died this morning. Okay. We had one wash up on a beach here in Washington recently. It had 6 intact otters inside of it, and the 7th intact otter had choked it to death. So it choked on its meal, and the otter got its revenge. So that's a good story. Danny Motes, Houston, my fidelity count is looking grim, like a Reaper grim. Needs something to happen soon. Patience. That's what I'm saying. Whenever Romero, what 50 Cent do when he was hungry? 58. God damn it. Justin G. When do we go from speculation station to reality locality? I think as soon as we see an S1, either S1 will make or break us. It'll be like, hey, you guys get nothing. All these creditors get everything. Fuck you. And that's it. And then it's over for us. Or it can say, hey, we're going to be distributing cash and shares, and it's going to be a party, and we're all going to high five each other and have an orgy, and like those are the 2 options. So we're just waiting on one of those 2 options to happen. Either we're zero or hero. Which way is it going to go? I'm leaning towards hero. I think everything's pointing towards hero on this one, because the only way they can get their revenge is to make the shorts close, and the only way to make the shorts close is to keep equity where it is. So if the shareholders don't have equity, the shorts aren't fucked. They win, and then this new company with $10 billion in debt just appears out of nowhere for no reason. There has to be a reason for the $10 billion. And I think that $10 billion is to absolutely just F shorts in the A. So here we are. Are we still eating crumbs? It's Lydia asks. No, I think this is a forkful of deliciousness. It's giving you this idea of what we could enjoy. We're doing a sample. It's like you're at the ice cream shop and you're like, I want to sample that ice cream. They give you a spoonful, and it gives you an idea of what it'll be like if you get a whole scoop of it. So, bada bop boop pow. We have 10.8 billion reasons to get hype. Mm-hmm. Belgian whale. I still have my BBIG shares at first trade. Now I'm worried because they still have them, and DTC didn't take mine like everybody else. I mean, it may be like, that's too much paperwork. We know you're going to get your shares back anyway. I was going to bother with it right now. That's probably what's happening. Also bought the triple dip today. And No Labs, GME, and IEP. Nice. Super chat from the Belgian whale. So basically, they do a money payout initiating the shorts, annihilating the shorts with that, and then give shares for 7 companies to us, annihilating everything else. First orca since 1850. Oh, the first orca to show up in Belgium since 1850. That's what makes it so notable. Yeah, so that's my prevailing theory right now, is that cash forces the price to be high. You do 7 companies, all with individual prices, and the price on it is insane overall for the liabilities. If you shorted this stock at like 10 cents and almost immediately you owe $300 to $800 or something on it, like, oh man, that's a lot of liability. Your margin, which was 30 to 1, now goes to like thousands to 1. 30,000 to 1. That's not where you want to be. So, right, Monkey? Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that much liability, do you, buddy? No, you don't. Okay. Okay. Lots of people saying hello. Jintoki 48 Alamo. Yes. And the subsidiary of Butterfly that is now taking on this debt is the Alamo Bed Bath & Beyond, which I think is an individual store, which I think is just a very weird participant in all this. Is like, why is an individual store outside of San Antonio the one to take on $10 billion in liability? Like, what are they spinning off and how are they doing it? And why are you still staring at me like that, dog? Get your butt up. Come on. Get your butt up here. Well, you can just lay on the floor. All right, whatever. Okay. Lindsay Amen. Hello, friends, Houston. If Sears is on this play and we have shares, what will that mean for us holding BBY and GME as well? I don't know if Sears is on this play because they asked for a 915-day extension in the Sears bankruptcy so they can continue to sell off real estate because it's taken them a long time to sell off the real estate. So I don't know if we'll hear anything out of Sears for quite some time in this whole thing. I guess we just sit and wait on that one. I could not name the 7 companies that could possibly. You got Teddy? Okay. Bye baby. All right. Maybe a Toys R Us. Some people have been speculating that Elon Musk is involved, so maybe SpaceX or something. I don't know. Radio Shack, Blockbuster, Lego. Who knows? We won't know until it all comes out. It's just speculation station. That's where we are. We are speculating and doing that till the cows come home. Money over mail. Not safe for work. I have my calculator open. Tell me what number I should multiply my shares by so I can go touch myself later. Well, imagine if when this was just one company, we're thinking it would spike, right? And everyone's saying tens of thousands, $100,000 a share. And now suddenly it's 7 companies, right? All individually spiking for something similar to that. All having to be squoze at the same time. Well, see what private islands you want to buy, and that can be, a starting place for you. There, Money Over Mayo. You can own one of the 1,000 islands in the St. Lawrence River. Be your own king. Get all probably 1,000 islands. Get it all. Okay. Dimitri Maximoff, we're going swimming in my money pool. No shorts. Jump in. Yeah, no shorts. It's Lydia Mills holding Rad CQ. That's Rite Aid. Apparently Rite Aid they're keeping people from buying it right now. The same lawyer team seem to be involved with Rite Aid. Very curious as to what's going on with all that stuff. Javier Martinez had birthdays and got my hat yesterday. Yay! Got your hat. Hopefully Jika Shukla got his shirt. I still need to figure out how to get the stupid HWAP store connected to the YouTube because I just cannot. Anyway, yeah. So hope that worked out. Got the my fish wears a mattress hat. Is PP on tonight? Apparently PP is on at 7 p.m. Central. So about half an hour after this show ends, PP will be on. I'll be having his show. Drats. Okay. Drats. Bamai? Dratsamabai? I hope I said that right. Hi, Houston. Feel kind of bad not getting into Bed Bath. Are us GME guys also coming to the moon? GME could do a reverse merger into this thing to benefit from Knowles. It's very possible. They could have thrown $1 billion into, because they got $1.5 billion in the bank, right? So they could throw $1 billion into that $10 billion fund. You know, Carl Icahn got on $5 billion. A couple other guys could have thrown a few billion in there, other companies, and everyone could be benefiting from this thing, coming in as equity holders when it's all said and done. And you want to accept equity in these new companies. So if that's the case, GME is probably going to rocket ship along with everybody else. So get on board, man. Come on, get on board. When MOAS happens, it won't just be for one stock. It'll be for everything in that short basket. All the shares that have been shorted, they will all be grouped together, holding hands, singing Kumbaya as they blast off into outer space, just vaporizing thousands of hedge funds and family funds and little dick bags that you find on like the GME Meltdowners pages. It's going to be amazing. And we are holding out for the MOAS so we can bring everybody along on this journey. Aaron Soren says, my birthday today. Happy birthday there, Aaron. Chris Taylor, Dimitri, no shorts for sure. Goes against all sensibility, but we'll have to invite PP to the pool. But no peeing in the pool. Luke Alexander, Houston. It's been a while since you've gone on a good old-fashioned Elon rant. Anything new that he's done that will make fun of him for? Oh, my God. White supremacists was complaining on Twitter, and then Elon came out with the stupid replacement theory crap of like, they're trying to get rid of white people. So, you know, he's still a complete chode. So, here we are. We're rocking and rolling, man. Okay. Ludicrous Speed, do you think the Fed will raise rates this week? I think the Fed is holding off because, according to their calculations, inflation is like at 3%. I think they're like, we're just going to hold off a little bit. They don't want to cut rates. That's for sure. You don't want to cut rates until the economy's in the toilet. That's the only time you got to cut rates because that's the biggest weapon you have for bringing everything out of it. But I'm going with they're not going to raise. And if they are going to raise, it's going to be like a quarter point. But I think they're kind of seeing the SPY drop, seeing the way rates are currently. Excuse me, that's going to be enough to sort of temper down expectations. A nice hork there, dog. It's a good hork. Billy Paps. What would happen to Toys R Us shares, for example, or Toys R Us F shares, in your opinion? Squeeze individually, or Toys R Us become part of the butterfly equity? As far as I know, Toy RF does not represent the Toys R Us that's in the United States. That is a wholly owned subsidiary of Macy's and Carl Icahn. So I don't think that stock represents. I think that's is that Canadian Toys R Us is Toy RF, or is that the bankrupt one that just like has gone off into nothingness? My guess is it would be a completely new equity and not something to do with the Toy RF. I could be wrong on that. It could be that, you know, the Canadian entity has something to do with the US one. I don't know what connections they have there. But, I mean, if you think it's worth a gamble, go for it. I have not done anything in that regards. Dog Mom, Can we also take a moment and say thank you to Houston for being the human being we all wish the other humans on Earth were like? Smart, humble, funny, fun. Houston never change. Dog mom, quit inflating my head. I have an Irish head. It gets big enough already. It's been growing nonstop since I finished puberty. But thank you. I'm just giddy right now. I'm a giddy little guy with my glass of water. Hoping some amazing documents get filed tomorrow to make me even more excited. Oh boy. Plus, the most recent season of Shoresy came out, and that show's hilarious. It's making me have just good tingly feelings all over. Javier Martinez, one economy crash. It might be doing it right now. The SPY is dipping. They're admitting the bond market is the worst it's ever been. It's the worst crash the bond market has ever had. Yeah, liquidity crunch. Banks are hurting. The good times do not last if the banks don't have any money. And that doesn't look like the Fed has any interest in giving the banks money at 0% interest, which they were doing for so long after the crash in '08. They're holding back, and they're just waiting for this thing to just collapse, and then they're going to go through and pick up the pieces. Shake out all the crumbs off the table on that one, and then reset the table. Money Romeo, I'm building a tactical team with people from the chat so we can spam emojis for 98 seconds straight. Who's in? Chris Taylor. Me. Well, you got one of them. Walt, the man in the middle. Good evening, everyone. Hello, Walt. Mario Valdez, Houston. Rangers or Diamondbacks. We are in Scottsdale, and I really want to catch Game 3, but I don't. I'm going with Diamondbacks. Now, the Rangers are the ones that knocked the Mariners out of playoff chances. So you kind of like hope that that opponent is the one who carries on. But the Mariners have Paul Sewall and Ketel Marte, two fantastic Mariners that the Mariners stupidly traded away. Who do we even get for Ketel Marte? I don't remember. Mariners Ketel Marte trade. All right. Yeah, so the Mariners traded Ketel Marte and Mitch Haniger. And who we get here? We got wait, Mitch Haniger. Sorry, I'm sorry about Mitch Haniger. Mitch Haniger is also a stud. Who did we get? Oh, yeah, and Diamondbacks got Taiwan Walker as well. Yeah. Yeah. So we got Mitch Haniger, and we traded Mitch Haniger away again. After he'd been a stud for us. We got rid of him. He came back. He was a stud again. We got rid of him. Gene Segura, nothing. Zach Curtis, nothing. So yeah, the Arizona Diamondbacks won that trade for sure. So the Mariners have nothing to show for trading Ketel Marte, who blossomed into an absolute manimal. So I'm going with Diamondbacks. I'm going with the Diamondbacks on this one. And why is it saying that I don't have enough video to maintain smooth streaming? I hate you, Comcast, so much. If I could put like an anti-advertising banner up, it would be Comcast sucks. That would be it. Abhishek Roland. Who pays trillions of dollars on MOAS when market makers, hedge funds run out of money? They're prime brokers. They're Abhishek. The prime brokers are responsible. This would be the investment banks, Nomura, UBS, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch, Lloyd's, Barclays, you name it. All these investment banks, they're responsible. They lent the money as margin to these hedge funds, and they're now responsible for it. Just like the bank lends you money to buy a house and you can't pay it, the bank's now responsible for that house because they own it. They own the debt that those companies created, those hedge funds created. So these banks are going to die, and that's where bailouts from the government's going to come, because the governments cannot let the investment banks die, because investment banks die, well, you have no economy after that. What's the point if you don't have any way of like moving cash around if all the banks die? So once the hedge funds get obliterated, once the market makers get obliterated, then the banks are going to start getting obliterated, and that's when the money printing will happen. That's when the DTCC is going to have to dip into their big insurance policies. Their insurance policy being the pool of risk cash they collect from their members, and other clearinghouses doing the same thing. So that's who's going to pay, man. And it's going to be a giant transfer of wealth from the rich assholes who cause the problem to us, who will cause different problems entirely. And I look forward to being a problem creator. It's using a problem. Lots of them. And it's the kind of problems I like to have for once. So thank you for that, Abhishek. Okay, there's the start of the show. Dog Mom, I've had a shitty day. I hate being adult sometimes. I hate having to work for a living sometimes. But more than anything, I appreciate you so much, Houston. Thank you for doing another show. My pleasure. And swing on by Charity Tuesday tomorrow, everybody. It's the best show of the month. We raise money for an awesome charity. And you guys, we've hit the goal every single time for like 40-something. 46 charities Tuesdays in a row or something ridiculous like that. It's been a lot. No, sorry. It's like 46,000 we've raised. It's 28 Charity Tuesdays? 29 Charity Tuesdays? Somewhere in there. Yes. Giorgio Rogers Hogan. Any thoughts, Matt, with the new board, maybe merger with Honeywell or hostile takeover? I have lots of thoughts. I cannot give them, Giorgio. Not for another 5 months or so. 5 months from now, the lock and key disappear from my mouth, and I can give you all the hot takes I have. But it's about 5 months from now until I can give those hot takes. I apologize. I appreciate the super chat. I just can't do that yet. Not for another 5 months. Right, Monkey? Because we don't want to get in trouble again. No. So no talking out of this mouth. Weezy, Houston, we have a boner. Belgian Whale, I would like to piece that 10 billion. Me too. Daphne's here, fantastic. Chris Taylor's here, howdy. Elon Tusk, so am I going to be rich? The clock seems to be winding down on this one. We just need a delicious filing. Edgar has nothing as far as I can tell. Okay. This is bankruptcy. Let's refresh this guy. Anything new? Nope. Still nothing filed since September. Yeah. Nothing new yet on Edgar showing up. So here we sit, waiting to be legit. Robert Hurt. What do you know about Sapphire Project? Any truth or a hoax? Sapphire Project? Well, A, nothing. I've never heard of it. Sapphire Project, or I don't think I've heard of it. Original website, Sapphire Project, useful historical overview of the project, conception, art, Orion Energy. Sapphire Project is not real science, electric sun model. Sapphire Project is a scam, real science, or why? Sapphire reactor can generate safe and uniquely controllable nuclear changes. So laboratory-based experiments explore the role of electricity in stellar and planetary phenomena. I have to read up on these guys because I have never heard of this. Pretty much everything's saying debunked, 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 debunked. Plasma fusion doesn't work. Project Sapphire stands a successful attempt. Country, so you're moving to another country. I'll have to read up on it. I know nothing about it. Sorry, I'm of no help there, Robert. BlizzCray 15. This show is music to my ears for the drive home from work. Keep up the great work. My pleasure. I wish I had thumping music in my ears right now to just go with the fact that I want to dance. I want to dance so bad. Piven. I'm looking to buy a new house. The one I like actually have a big blue butterfly on the wall in one of the pictures. So MOAS and house market crash tomorrow, please. Fingers crossed for you. I have my eye on a sweet piece of property that right now is like millions of dollars more than anyone's willing to spend. So I'm hoping the price stays up there so that no one buys it and that I don't care what the price is post-MOAS. I can go in and get it and have ample room to put siblings and parents and whatnot and all sorts of little cabins and houses on the property. And we can start living our best life. That's my goal. So here we are. Jason Blackwell. Uh-oh. Houston, why did Avocados go to the party? She wanted to walk and roll. He's making personalized puns for you people. Abhishek Rauhan, can the government stop MOAS to avoid economic apocalypse? Maybe. I mean, it's all a possibility. They could jump in and be like, trading stopping. We're going to do a structured settlement, or we're going to be doing something to pay this out and get it all done and wipe the board clean. They totally have it within their purview to do that. They piss off investors. They pissed off foreign investors. We talked about this a long time ago. Like, you piss off the foreign investors, that's 40% of the investment into the U.S. economy is from people outside the country. So you piss them off because like, you guys can't keep your shit together. I invested in this thing for infinite risk and I didn't get it. Well, they may never invest in the U.S. market again if that's the case. And you just contracted your entire economy and your ability of having a global currency. Because part of the global currency is being able to use those dollars all over the world. And if people can't take those dollars and put them back into our markets because they don't want to, then they're not going to do it. So yeah, there could be some sort of negotiated settlement where they're like, okay, $1,000 a share and it's over. That would suck. I would get more money than I invested into it, so that'd be okay. But not the damage that I would want to see. And I don't think the damage that Ryan Cohn would want to see of these hedge fund and market makers, especially if that negotiated settlement didn't involve just vaporizing those market makers in the first place and starting all over, letting people who aren't bad actors come in and run these market making acts. So yeah, they can come in and ruin it. I think it'd be poorly advised. I think it's better for them to let the market do what the market does and just print money to bail out the banks in the end, and then in the post-mortem change the laws here and there. Because if they piss everyone off by halting everything and doing some sort of structured settlement, negotiated settlement. That's what I'm thinking, Mikey. Not structured settlement. I know. What am I thinking there, dog? You're gonna piss off your voters and piss off like the good players in this, and not let the bad ones die. You gotta let the bad ones die here, so that you're no longer beholden to them. So we'll see. We'll see what all happens. Rupert Trooper, Houston, isn't the $10 billion a claim for administrative expenses? How can it be a fake creditor? How is this beneficial to holders? Also, am I chat banned? I don't think so, Rupert. I see you right there. Hi, Cat. Cat's just gonna come in and start dry heaving right immediately. Cool. There you go, buddy. Yeah. Do you need your pill? Is that what we need? Yeah. The what do they call it? The admin priority. That's the name of it. I don't think it's specifically for administrative expenses. It may be being used for administrative expenses, but I think it is a giant cash balloon to finish making whatever play these creditors have planned to F the shorts. I don't think it's a fake creditor. I don't think that's happening at all, because we saw some creditors step in late, be like, hey, I'm owed money. And the court go, you're too late. This one's specific. I think this one is a cash infusion directly happening now, as of Thursday, into the corporate shell of the going concern. And that's what's getting filed in there. And the court has granted this, that they're on there because they are granted as a creditor, not because they're just making some sort of claim, but the court has been like, this claim's legit. So how is it beneficial to holders? My guess is this is going to be used to, oh great, now I'm turning to max headroom again. Damn it. Comcast, you suck. Ernest isn't even here to download video games. Why? But anyway, I think this $10 billion is there specifically to pay shareholders cash along with equity distribution to ensure there's an insanely high floor price on the stock to ensure the margin calls happen and to ensure they get liquidated and force a MOAS. Because, again, this is all about revenge. This is purely revenge play. This is a dark force that I am loving. And just got to sit and wait. That's our job. Twiddle our thumbs, sit and wait. We've done our part, which is buy as many shares as we possibly can. And now we just wait. Okay. Hey, I'm back. All right. And I'm no longer max headroom. So why is the internet such garbage in this place? I upgrade my internet. I pay Comcast more money now to get faster internet, and this crap still happens. Okay. Joshua says Lego never go public, though. It's all speculation. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. Belgian Whale watched a crappy Netflix movie Zeker today and they were talking about BBY coupons. Bullish. Lucas Chitchaws. I'm probably ruining that. Why wouldn't Lego just give away shares for free? Makes so much more sense. Well, doing IPO sucks because you have to give out a whole bunch of equity to whoever the underwriter is, and you know it's a pain in the ass. Doing a SPAC, you can get a huge amount of, as in this case, if you use it as a SPAC, you get a huge amount of NOLs, the operating losses, and you're already a profitable company, so you can just write off your profits for the next 10 years or something with that. And so rather than like waste equity on these underwriters that are going to screw you over in the end anyway, you may as well just have the extra shares go to existing shareholders, have the NOLs, be totally happy. So why not? Seems like a good trade-off to me. And screw over some shorts. Grape Nuts, happy birthday. Deathless Day, HW. Halloween, All Hallows Eve. Kirk Wilson Houston, which ticker and sympathy with BBYQ I would like to purchase options? Can nuclear fission power spacecrafts? I mean, nuclear fission do power spacecrafts now. That's what's happening in nuclear batteries and probes we send out, like Voyager 2. That's a nuclear battery doing fission. I don't think you're gonna get the type of power and like thrust from it as you would from like fusion situation. You get way more energy out of fusion than you do out of fission. Yeah. But which ticker in sympathy with BBYQ? GameStop, probably. That's probably the best you can do without being able to trade right now. Buy or sell those tickers. Oh, speaking of buying and selling. Oh shit! How do I get to? One sec. Oh, that's what I want. You. Okay. Because I wrote a piece, a piece. I posted this thing to the subreddit. Okay, so Pi. You guys remember the crypto token Pi? Come on, you stupid move. It's at $36. This little crypto coin. You mine it on your phone. You create this little network. It's trapped into their main net, which is not open to the rest of the internet. But somehow people have been getting their coins out of the main net and selling them for $36 a coin. I don't know how they're doing it. I only just looked at the price the other day because it popped up on some other things, and it's like, what the hell? It's one of the hottest coins right now. It had a high of like $300 at one point. Load. Yeah. So when it first appeared, January of this year, $300. 300. That's 237. I guess 250 on this one. It spiked recently over $50. I don't get it. I would love to take my coins that I have in Pi network and get them out if you guys know how. So I don't know how to do that. But I think do I have a link for the Pi thing on here? If not, I'll set one up. But you can join my network. Go to the subreddit. You can click on that and join the network and figure out how to mine this crap. And if you guys know how to get out of here, I would love to get out of here and pay for things, because I don't give a shit about this coin. I would love to get rid of it. But thank you for reminding me of things that can't sell or buy or whatever. And I don't understand where the coins are coming from, how they're getting out of the network. If you know, let me know. Okay. Billy Paps canceled options in case of cash for equity. Very possible. Monkey, you aren't even using that thing. Be nice to the cat. Hi, kitty. What's up, fatty? What's up? Yeah, just being a jerk for the heck of it? You didn't want to be up there before, but now, oh, because the cat wanted it, you got to go up there. Okay. I feel like I've got ADD today. Okay. Grape nuts. What would the consequence of Citadel being considered too big to fail be? I don't know if... So, they're talking about making things other than banks being considered too big to fail. I don't know if they would put market makers in that same realm. Because as we saw in 2008, Bernie Madoff represented the largest market maker in the entire market. And he blinked out of existence almost immediately, and it was fine. Right? Gone. His market maker arm is gone. The market did just fine. What I think they're looking at as too big to fail are probably the huge index funds like Vanguard and BlackRock. Probably looking at those guys, because those guys operate not just as these giant index funds, but almost like investment banks at the same time. And I doubt Citadel will be considered on the same level as them. Citadel wanted to become an investment bank a few years ago, and the government was like, "No, you don't get to play in this party. We don't trust you." I don't know if you saw the news recently about Ken Griffin wanting to build a $1 billion house in Florida. This is probably almost entirely due to the fact that in Florida, you cannot seize someone's home to pay off debts, like outside debts, legal rulings, things like that, which is the entire reason why O.J. Simpson moved to Florida. He had a $30 million ruling against him by Nicole Brown Simpson's family and the other guy who was murdered. And he's like, I'm not paying that. So he bought a giant house in Florida, and now they can't seize that house from him. And he can live off of the interest or the equity in that home and not have to worry about having to ever pay that family what is owed to them for the wrongful death lawsuit. My guess is that Ken Griffin's doing something similar. He builds $1 billion home. No one will ever get it from him. Moo-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. Right? Right, little kitty? Oh, you're a little dude. So, yeah. So, I just don't see any wiseness of making that happen for, come on. For Citadel. Oh, my mom's excited because that thing for the phone came. Her crappy little phone ran out of memory, so I got her SD card to put in there. It was supposed to arrive yesterday, and it didn't. So now she's really excited that it arrived. So I've got to put that SD card in there so that her phone stops yelling at her for not having a memory. She takes pictures. So every time she completes a puzzle, she takes a picture of it, sends it to her best friend, and her phone is full of... She does like a puzzle a day, maybe 2 puzzles a day. So her phone's just full of pictures of puzzles. And that used all her memory. Okay. It's Lady I Love Honeypot Holdings. Yeah, this could be very similar to Honeypot Holdings. My idea for Honeypot Holdings, those of you who are new and not familiar here, post-moass. If shorting still continues the way it continues with hedge funds, my plan is I'm going to create a holdings company. It'll have a few $1 million in holdings, whatever. I will keep, I'll make 3 million shares, keep 2 million of them, sell $1 million at $1 each into the market, and then let the shorts hammer the shit out of it. I don't report very big profit, no dividend, maybe losses here and there. let the shorts hammer down. Maybe miss a reporting day so that it gets bad news from the SEC, and then just hammer down to like fractions of a penny. Got to make the par value really, 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 really small. Hundredth of a penny, whatever, maybe even smaller. And then have another holdings company out in like Cayman Islands, Dubai, wherever. And when this price gets to the point where it's like fractions of a fraction of a fraction of a penny, buy up tens of billions of them. Just buy them. Just buy tens of billions of those suckers, small bids at a time. Collect billions upon billions upon billions upon billions of shares. And then I go in and I offer to buy out the 1 million shareholders of Honeypot Holdings for $10 a share. Meanwhile, this holdings company in Dubai or Canary Islands or Cyprus or wherever has 10 billion, 30 billion shares. And now hundreds of billions of dollars from the short hedge funds and PILs will have to go to Honeypot Holdings. Fantastic. So that's the idea of Honeypot Holdings. It seems to be this could be something that they're doing, right? Like you have 300 million shares held by Hudson Bay Capital, and you offer a buyout that is at $10 to $85 a share, and those 300 million shares are worth billions. They get billions of dollars in PILs from everybody, right? So this could be just a delicious thing. And you set the price really high, and then you do a share offering, right? You got some extra shares left over. There's 901 million shares in the according to the New York Department of State. So 901 million shares. You do a share offering. You say, hey, we're going to do a share offering at market of this company. You'll put it all in your S1 at $50 a share or whatever, and you could quickly raise back the money that you put into this thing as the admin priority, right? So you don't sell it at market. Sell 2 million shares at market, and the market is tens of thousands of dollars a share. Okay, you just at $10,000 a share, you sell 1 million shares, and you just paid off that debt facility. Cool, done. Yay, right, Kat? You were just a scratchy little butthole, aren't you? Yes, you are. Okay. Martin Jackson, no more talks of MMTLP then? What's your big brother doing? Right now, he's, I think, surfing. I can talk about MMTLP, I can't talk about MMAT. MMTLP has been doing lots of hearings in Congress, and I don't know what's coming of it because they're behind closed doors. So if blue sheets have been revealed to any of these senators, they've not let that be known yet. But here we are. We're waiting. ABC 123, naked short sellers shamelessly hammering GameStop stock price when the fundamentals show the GameStop fundamentals are strong and insiders and investors only buying. Lol. Yep. It's happening all over again. They're creating more liability from themselves because they're one-trick ponies. In case of emergency, break glass, short more shares. That's their answer to everything. Short more shares. Short more shares. And so they got to just drive the price down as best they can. And they don't have Bed Bath & Beyond to kick around anymore. They can't short Bed Bath & Beyond because it doesn't exist. Right? It's now Butterfly, and there are no shares from the short anymore. So they need to push that basket down more, and they were doing it on all these other plays, and they did it in a big way on Bed Bath & Beyond. But now I think they all realize just how much liability they have. Cat. Dude, what are you doing? There we go. Yeah, there's nowhere to sit there. It's full of gifts from Michael Mystery. All right, cat. Bring your tail on the camera. Oh, there's the cat tail. Just let him figure this out here. Okay. You're in the most precarious position possible. What's happening there, kitty? What are you doing? What are you doing? Louis with MOAS graphs. Fantastic. I just lost my spot. Louis, where were you? Where were you, Louis? You were way up here. Oh, there you are. Okay. Anna, do you think BBIG will go bankrupt? Sounds like it. They have no board. They have no board, yet the court did not appoint a receiver as far as I know. I'm hoping to have... Cat, just figure your shit out, dude. No, now you're in the way, Cat. I can't read anything. I'm hoping to have some folks on here in the coming weeks, talk more about what's going on with BBIG. You can just, here, we'll do this. Go over there. Oh my God, you weigh so much. You're such a fatty. Okay. We're hoping to have some people on and they'll discuss it. And it seems like kind of a mess just happening with BBIG. The dude behind BBIG has bankrupted 5 companies so far and walked away from all of them, and usually gets charged with something criminal and then does it all over again. So obviously the FBI isn't doing a good enough job to make sure this dude doesn't create new companies. We're too forgiving for some of these scoundrels that get involved with companies. BBIG was a viable company, and this dude just obliterated it, just like he did with MoviePass and everything else he was involved in. ABC123, hope for some good news for retail investors. Finally, the market manipulation is blatant the past 3 years. Yes. Scott Pollen, worst part of GME price being low is that I can't sell mutual funds and hedge fund investments fast enough. I know you gotta like wait 2 days on some of them. Oh. ABC123, I would buy more GME if I could at these undervalued and oversold prices. I love the stock. I pick up little bits here and there as I can because I can't really do anything else. Man, if I get those Pi coins out of Pi, I could buy a boatload of GME. I would love to do that. Oh well. Yeah. Chris Wade. Hey Houston. Greetings from Germany. Question to your math. If we get cash for our shares, do we still have them or are they gone? I have a feeling that we will still have them. That what they may do is like issue new equity, meaning issuing equity in Butterfly, issuing equity in Teddy, issuing equity in whatever other companies they've got in here. And then they also do a cash payment to the shareholders just to establish a really high floor price on the stock. Like, if you're saying, hey, I'm going to give everybody $50, then the stock price has to be worth at least $50 because you can't get $50 for less $50. That's my guess is that they would do it specifically to give to us to screw the short hedge funds over because they're going to owe payments in lieu and all that. Now they may just buy us out. They'll be like, okay, we're going to buy you out and make our own company. Okay, then I got some cash. But I don't think that's going to create the squeeze that they want if they issue new equity to themselves. And then the shorts, they got to do a payout, which is going to suck. But they're not responsible for any of this new equity getting to their lenders. So if I were to be as diabolical as possible, it would be cash plus equity. ABC123, also hoping crypto market makes an all-time high in November, now that most have come to realize hyperinflation is coming. We'll see. I mean, it's flying high right now. That's why I would love to get Picoin out, sold. We'll see. We'll see where it all goes. Sis54, is rumor that Treasury is imposing too big to fail tag to certain businesses. If true, they're already bailing themselves out before it even happens. That's my thinking. And they may put that tag on market makers, but I have the feeling it's going to be the big index funds, Vanguard and BlackRock. And maybe a couple others in there somewhere that are doing similar stuff. Scott Paul on ABC, I'm launching a crypto hedge fund later this year or next year. I've become what I hate most. Yogi 2012, The Otter's Revenge would make a nice band name. That's a good name. Good band. Otter's Revenge. Choke on this, orca. Kamikaze otters. Myro 55. Are my BBIG shares actually gone in Schwab? The shares themselves are gone, but you're still the owner of record for the equity. Meaning, if there's a new distribution, which is what we're holding out for, you will get that new distribution through Schwab. You are the owner of record. Belgian Whale. 7. What's wrong with you people? Please post. Please praise the king. I only got 7 likes. Man, get in here. Get in here, people. Let's party. Abhishek Ralan. What do you think? How high can MOAS price be? Dude, someone's going to be selling something for millions. That's what I think. I think someone's going to put a fractional share in there, something, and be like, 420 million, 69,000, whatever. And the trading computer will be like, there's still a share available, and we'll buy that. Someone's going to get something silly. When the sneeze happened, the intraday high was $480 or whatever for GameStop, but there was somebody who sold a fractional share for the equivalent of over $5,000 a share. So somebody filled that little gap at the tippy top of the probability pyramid, and the way these trading computers work when they're trying to close out these positions as fast as possible when liquidation is happening is they buy anything that's available. So whatever the lowest price is, someone's selling out market, they buy it. If there's nothing at market, whatever the lowest level in the level 2s is for the ask price, they buy all those. And then they just work their way up, clearing everything out as long as nothing lower appears again. So it won't take very long to go from, the reasonable price, I guess I'll sell $50, whatever, to the people who are like, I will sell for $4,000. And then all of a sudden, that's the only thing left in those level 2s, and they buy them for $4,000. Well, the next step after that is maybe $69,000. Okay. Well, they're buying $69,000 all of a sudden because their goal is to close this out as fast as possible. They want to get it over with. They want to get everything clear, and they can just start over and move on with their lives. If you let the squeeze go on for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, it becomes all people talk about, right? Then you're dealing with all sorts of FOMO of weirdos coming in and day trading and doing all sorts of crappy stuff that you just want to avoid. You want to just get it over with and done with. You want billions of shares in volume because these trading computers are gobbling up everything they possibly can, and to just be over and done. So yeah, somewhere in there, they're going to go through level 2s. There might be a moment where the only thing left to buy, because no one's selling at market, they're all just wondering what's going to happen, and no one's put in new orders, and just the last thing up there is millions of dollars a share. And they go, buy. And then everyone freaks out because that's the new floor price. So, and you got all the diamond handers, you got people that they're putting money into the infinity pool or putting their shares in the infinity pool, meaning they have shares they will never sell, ever. And if that infinity pool is as large as the float, it may be impossible to close positions for some of these hedge funds. So it's going to be wild. The prices are going to be stupid high. And your monkey is scratching. Okay. So that's what we're dealing with. Stephen Lewis, afternoon Houston, happy birthday. Long time no see. So why pops I wasn't able to get in. Shucks. Will this have the potential to kick off all their stocks beginning the first stage of MOAS? Yes, this could be the catalyst for sure, kicking everything off. If GameStop does a reverse merger into this butterfly company, right? Your shares will convert into these butterfly shares or vice versa, whatever. Now the shorts are not just short on the original shares, they're now short on the Bed Bath shares with your company, and things could get weird. Absolutely weird. So if they're getting liquidated to pay off this liability, they're going to have to pay off all their liabilities. Every play they have that they've used margin for is going to have to get closed. So that's why in 2021 we saw that entire basket, everything, costs, Bed Bath & Beyond, Nokia, GME, all these weird stocks no one ever heard of were flying during that time. And then a week later, we saw the same thing happen with a whole host of zombie stocks on the OTC started flying. Lehman Brothers and Washington Mutual and Sears and Blockbuster and Radio Shack and all these dead companies started flying a week later in the OTC. Weird stuff can happen when this is all said and done. King of all Kings, you're very informative and entertaining. You should have a show after MOAS. Love your show. I would love to do a show. I mean, I've done a show. I sold a TV show multiple times. And multiple times calamity strikes and That's what it is. But I made a geology show called Get Your Rocks Off with Houston, where I travel the world and show people how to get cool rocks, gemstones, fossils, gold, you name it. So we go all over the world. It kind of becomes a science travel show, and we throw a lot of history in there, like where the stones, how the stones were made, like how the earth make them, what makes them so interesting, what makes them valuable, famous examples of valuable ones out there. Then we go out there and find it. And in the process of finding it, we visit old ghost towns, old mines, talk with local weirdos. And then we get the stone. And when we get the stone, we do something cool with it. We make it into jewelry, make it into a laser. I don't know. Do we use it, whatever it could be used for. And that's the idea of the show. I sold the show. I did a Kickstarter in 2013, made a pilot. In my YouTube, you can see the sizzle reel for the pilot. And then I took that pilot to the Banff World Media Festival in 2015, sold the show to a production company, and it was a disaster. They did not understand that filming a geology show involves like being outside, and they were not ready for that. And filming was a giant nightmare. And I languished for a while because I was stuck in this contract with them, and it sucked. And so I went and got another master's degree. And when I was done with the master's degree, I was like, okay, I own the rights to the show back. I'm going back. I'm going to sell it again. So I went back 2019. I sold the show to the production company. We worked on it for a while and put together our pitch and everything. And we took that to Discovery Channel in March of 2020. It was like March 7th or 8th of 2020. And we sold the show to Discovery Channel. 10 days before COVID shut everything down, Discovery Channel canceled all new programming, laid everyone off we've been dealing with, and no show. Wah, wah. And there's no Banff World Media Festival because of COVID. So 2 years later, I go back to Banff, June 2022, sell the show again to another production company. And they are convinced we are going to sell this thing to Nat Geo because Disney has so much money in it right now. They're looking to make amazing shows. And then that fall, Disney lost the rights, the global viewership rights to cricket. And 1 billion people in Southeast Asia and South Asia stopped subscribing to Disney. And they were no longer buying new shows. So here we are. Post-moass, I'm just going to fund it myself. I will create my own production company, and we'll just fund the adventures and travel the world and do cool shit. That's all I want to do. I want to get out of this office. I want to go travel and do cool shit and show people like how the earth makes stuff and where you can go find it. And, visit places in your neighborhood where you can find cool things. We'll go to San Diego. We'll show you just people live outside of San Diego can go dig tourmaline and make thousands of dollars. You can head up from New York and go get these really cool quartz stones called Herkimer diamonds. You can go in Franklin, New Jersey and get really rare rhodonite. Or you can be in New Mexico and find alexandrite. Or you can see what Namibia is like and what cool space rocks you can find there. That's the goal. Well, come on, moass. Let's make some informative television. Daphne straight jackets or Lambos. Javier, spy calls printed. So I got more puts. Can GME be any cheaper? I think the shorts hope so. Ordinary Angler Houston, have you talked to Rosa lately? Not for like a week or so. She was in London doing whatever London stuff. She's a busy lady. She told me that she'll let me know when she come back on the show. So hopefully we'll get her on soon. I'm sure she's stressed as can be what's going on between Israel and the Palestinians. And, I hope she's doing well. I hope she hears back and that she passed the California bar and then she can work anywhere in the country she wants. So she can be the super lawyer she was meant to be. Lawless. There are multiple BBBY stores in San Antonio. This particularly pertains to the Alamo one. What was it? Alamo something. Where's the file? New window, blah, blah, blah. It was Alamo something Bed Bath & Beyond. So I think it's a particular store that's now $10 billion in debt. KYP, something's happening with the stream. It's because the internet sucks, KYP. That's why. Pulse Former, how's the community? Hopefully doing all right. Antonio Baez, Houston. Are you going to write a book about these experiences over the last couple of years? Up to including MOASS? You should. Man, that sounds like work. Maybe. I don't know. Like, AI, what happened in my life? Print. It's the oh my god dude with nub. Diamond hands forever, drooling face. Rip and dip, what a load of crap. Which load of crap? The rip and dip? You gotta be more specific because I shovel lots of shit. Jay Sheely, don't forget to get a private wealth attorney and the Cook Island Trust fund first. Yeah, definitely get wealth managers, get attorneys, get CPAs and tax accountants. And if you make a lot of money from this, these guys are going to be super busy. Wherever you live, they're going to get flooded with people like you. Thousands of people are like, oh shit, taxes, the year ends on December 31st. I've got, less than 2 months to have somebody figure out what I'm going to be doing with trusts, holdings companies, you name it. Like, you create a new company. Okay, you want to put as much money as you can in the new company because it's a write-off for what you earned that last year, right? And you're going to want to create a foundation or a trust to put your wealth in. You're going to have to figure out all this stuff before the end of the year so that, you don't get a giant tax bill and go, But if you do get a giant tax bill, pay your taxes. Just pay them. Don't spend all the money at once. Have enough to pay your taxes. Pay your taxes so you don't go to jail. Because it sucks going to jail. Don't do it. Especially like you make $1 billion. Like, well, I'm not going to pay my $300 million in taxes. Buddy, you'll still have $630 million. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So pay your taxes. Just pay your taxes. Adalberto, Houston. What's the actual outstanding shares of BBY? 117 million or almost 800 million? Not a clue. Not one. It could be the 780 million. It could be the 117 million. My guess, I'm leaning more towards 780 million simply because Hudson Bay Capital exercised 300 million, which would suggest that it's more than 117 million. But, we'll see, right? Well, we won't know until some distribution happens of some kind. Snort alert. So many books will be written about this. Imagine what is happening behind the scenes right now. This is some Ender's Game shit. Yeah. Antonio Bias, can you write a MOASS for dummies like me, telling us what you're going to do on the way up and on the way down, after as a guide for all for sorts of guided sorts to MOASS past, present, future. I could post something to the subreddit. I differ with a lot of people who are planning on selling on the way down, because the way I see it is when MOASS starts, individual humans are not doing the buying. It's the trading computers. We talked about that just a few minutes ago. These trading computers are trying to buy whatever they can to get this over with as quickly as possible. And that's entirely where the buy pressure comes. And that's why the price will be going up. So the minute the trading computers have enough of that particular stock they need to buy, buying stops. Like if they're like, oh, we need to cover 5 billion shares. Once the volume gets to 5 billion shares, they stop buying and the price is going to just crater instantaneously. Because you and I are not going to go out and try to buy a share at $30,000. That's stupid, right? We'll sell a share at $30,000 or $300,000 or whatever, but we're not going to go buy more at $30,000 thinking, oh, this is going higher. So the buy pressure isn't going to come from retailers. It's not going to come from day traders. Those guys get wiped out a long time ago. It's not going to come from hedge funds because they're gone. Index funds aren't going to buy at $30,000. The buy pressure entirely is the trading computers trying to close out their position. So the minute, the price might get up to a $1 gajillion, but the minute they don't need to buy anymore, whoosh, buy pressure disappears, price craters instantaneously. So all those folks who'd be waiting to sell on the backside, there's no one to buy them. you can list whatever price you want, but there's no one there to buy those shares. So my plan is ladder sell strategy. Find a ridiculous price that will have me and my loved ones set for our entire lives, and I'll sell my first share there. And then set the next share at 50% more than that, right? Let's say it's $10,000. Next share is at $15,000. And the one after that is at $225,000. The one after that is $337,000. And, or sorry, 37,000. And just work step by step, climbing that ladder. And then if I feel like, okay, the volume needs to be at 5 billion and the trading computers are done sometime around then, and I see this price at just the most ridiculous things ever, well, maybe I'll just be like, put the rest there. I did it. I'm out. I'm good to go. Once I'm out, once I'm done, I will look at whatever plays can be made with that cash. Meaning, let's say GameStop is flying high with it, exact same time. I've sold my GameStop, and some weirdo algorithm is writing puts on GameStop. And the price of GameStop is a gajillion billion trillion dollars, and there's $950 puts, right, on GameStop. Well, I'm going to buy up as many of those $950 puts as I possibly can. I will buy millions of them if the computers let me, because the price of GameStop is going to crater the minute the buying pressure is gone. It will fly past that $950 and drop back down to a reasonable range at like $20-30, right? So I have the potential to make like $900,000 or sorry, $90,000 on each one of those puts. If I buy 1 million of those suckers, I just made like $9 billion off those puts alone. So I will look at stuff like that. And then when the dust is settled, I know the market crash is in full swing. I will use it to buy up tons of index funds, buy up the SPY, invest in all the companies that I see as long-term viabilities, like No Labs and GMG and whatnot, and have my nest egg, get my dividend stocks, get my index funds, and then turn my brain off and go sit poolside with a bunch of supermodels. And that's the goal. And create my foundation, and donate money, and turn my brain off for a while. Be like this little fat piece of crap. No brain whatsoever, right? Just sleeping poolside, getting butt scratches. Oh, living the life, right, buddy? Oh, yeah. Nope. I just forced the cat to start dry heaving again. Oh, asthma cat. There he is. Look at him. Heave, heave, heave. Sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to make you purr and dry heave. I'll hopefully do it without the asthma. Yeah. Oh, let's get in there. Dubiwa, was there some type of filing for this 10 billion? Yes. Go to the Kroll restructuring. Go to the claims, claim 18124. You will see it right there. $10.8 billion. That's a lot. That's a lot of cheddar. That's a lot of cheddar. Josh Dobbs, can't even tell you the amount of butterflies I've been seeing in my waking life. What do you say about synchronicity and signs? I mean, once you start looking for them, they're everywhere, right? Like, to me, it used to be I'd see a butterfly tattoo on a woman who walk by and be like, ugh. Ew. Now I see, I'm like, hey, there's a butterfly tattoo. I still think in my brain, like, why would you get that tattoo? But, yeah, you're going to see them everywhere. You're going to see them on clothing people walk by, sides of buildings, stickers on cars. They're just going to be everywhere at that point. Finn Twister TM, my wife and I's anniversary today. Best time to be alive. Happy anniversary. Fantastic. Oh, William Morgan's here. Fantastic as well. Team Resolution into house, y'all. Robert Hurt, PP show today at 7 p.m. Only if the Rangers give up a 7th spot in the first. Go Rangers. Okay. Billy Pap's Australian Toys R Us. That's Toys R Us or Toy TF. Okay, that's Australian. Word. Bosmang, Houston, what floor price do you think we'll enter the market with? I mean, it depends upon if all 7 of those companies are being spun out of here, right? So if there's 7 companies being spun out of this thing, each one of those is going to be spun out with a particular floor price. So overall, if it's $10 a share, they'll get $70 minimum, which is more than enough to vaporize these shorts. Plus whatever equity we get, cash we get out of this. So that could be anywhere from $12 to $85 if that $10 billion is what that is for. So then you're looking at a floor of 80 to 140 or more. I'd venture to guess that for all 7 shares plus equity distribution, probably looking at close to $300, $350, somewhere in there total as the floor, like where it begins. And then shorts get vaporized from that moment forward, and it just flies. So, Mitch Wiley, do you have faith in an MMTLP resolution? Well, something's going to happen eventually. That's not going to be very pleasant for the folks who shorted the stock. Either the government says, all right, this is messed up. We're going to have to do a couple of days of trading to close out these short positions and have it be over with. Or, that's option 1, or they do some sort of negotiated settlement where they say, we're going to close out these shares with this much money. Done. First 100 million people do 100 million shares to agree to it, get that money, done. Or 3, a buyer comes along for the oil fields, they agree to the purchase price, which is probably be ridiculous because the recent oil field purchases, for oil fields that have between 1 to 2.5 billion barrels of oil is coming out to like $30 billion per billion barrels. We've got 3 billion or more. So that could be $400 a share that the buyout is for these folks. So one of those 3 options are what's going to happen. Either way, give me my money. Give me my money. Daphne, they are apparently one and the same. People have been digging and calling and looking at a toy RF. Spoke with people at Fidelity. So it is the current Toys R Us that's going around? Interesting. Alex F. is going to finally afford his own internet when the MOAS happens. Oh, baby. I will have fiber optic everywhere. Whatever home I buy, if I have one built, the fiber optic in the walls. If I buy something new, I'll rip out the walls, put fiber optic in, put the walls back in. We're going to have good internet. Star alert, we buy Comcast after MOAS. I'll short Comcast. A Belgian whale, Apex is my broker's bank. Is this just a bank like Bank of America, or what is it? I know the Apex Exchange. Apex Bank. Apex Bank, top performing community bank in Tennessee. That's probably not the one I'm talking about because you're in Belgium. Apex Bank, Belgium. Apex Group, globally connected network of offices support your local cross-jurisdictional requirements. Apex Group, European Depository Bank. Our story. Oh, tell me. This all is coming from Europe, so it's going to take a while. There we go. European Depository Bank, EDB, is part of the Apex Group. As an independent provider of free institutional influences, we can deliver an agile and responsive cross-jurisdictional service in an ever-changing regulatory environment. That's a whole bunch of gibberish right there. Okay, our powerful global infrastructure and breadth of technical expertise enables us to provide market-leading solutions tailored to benefit our clients. Also more gibberish. Our vision is to be the leading provider of banking, depository, and custody services to asset managers, family offices, institutional investors, and corporates. Corporates and corporations? Okay, that right there is something a little more substantive. So it looks like they are trying to be, they're an investment bank of sorts. Founded in Luxembourg in 1973, wholly subsidiary of Hamburg-based private banking MM Warburg and Company, KG, made it possible for institutional investors to directly access Luxembourg financial markets, thus make us one of the most experienced depositories for traditional alternative investment structures. I mean, it looks like an investment bank, acts like an investment bank. It's got $260 billion in funds. So seem decently sized. Maybe go knock on some doors in Luxembourg and find out how legit they are. Dog Mom, oh no, Houston, can you hear me now? Hopefully. Rupert Trooper. Houston, the BBY 10 billion creditor that's actually for administrative claims, how is that beneficial to us? Could it be fake claim? No, I don't think it's fake claim. I don't think it's fake claim at all. That's prison time to make a fake claim like that. It's administrative costs, because those administrative costs will also include a giant payout to us and possibly paying off bad actors that are currently creditors. Robert Hurt, Houston, do you own any Acme shares? I do have Acme shares, yes. Plenty. Trace Batter, Houston, can you describe or explain the entity starting from the simple retail investor and working your way up to whoever gives or lends shares out? So you have your brokers and your prime brokers up here, right? They're the ones that are exchanging shares or cash back and forth. Now, underneath them are other entities. You've got your institutions, you've got your market makers, and you've got your hedge funds. So you have these three groups here, and a lot of them utilize borrowing to make plays, because they can borrow at short-term, limited interest, and then they can make a play that makes them several X above that. Hedge funds have existed for a long time, but for the last 30 years or so, they've been exclusively being used to do shorts in the market, because shorting is printing free money, right? Yes, there's laws against naked short selling, but there's not really much enforcement of it. And so these hedge funds, they take money from their investors, their clients. It's $1 million minimum to join a hedge fund. So each person who's a client has at least $1 million. There are some hedge funds that, they control tens of billions of dollars in wealth and have like 12 members in them. So people have invested billions in these hedge funds. These hedge funds go out and they buy securities, blue chips. They'll buy treasuries, U.S. government bonds, municipal bonds, things like that. They buy this chunk, that's their collateral. And with that collateral, they go to an investment bank, a prime broker, and they borrow money. They say, hey, I've got this $1 billion in collateral. I'd like to borrow a bunch of money so I can make some plays. And they're allowed to borrow up to 30 times what's in their collateral. So they've got $1 billion in collateral. They can borrow $30 billion and go make plays. What do they do with that $30 billion? Well, they start shorting stocks. They don't just borrow stocks to short without margin. They'll just invent it out of thin air. And they'll just sell shares that don't exist. And when it comes time to clear, the broker goes, shit, there's no shares here and there's money coming. And they look around in their clients' accounts and they pull out some real shares, put some IOUs in there, and then they send some real shares across the other broker who's sending them the cash. And that way the deal gets done. The IOU becomes liability for the short seller. It's supposed to have like 35 days to close that out, or else the broker has to liquidate them. But the short seller, the hedge fund, gets close to that 35 days. They package up that debt into an equity swap, trade that baggage with somebody else, and the clock starts all over again. So they'll just trade these equity swaps around and around and around and around and around and around and around. Now, market makers can short all day long. They can sell shares that don't exist, and they never have to make good on it. They can be like, oh, look, hey, you got to make good on that. And they go, no, I don't. And then the regulators go, yeah, you're right. You don't have to do anything. So you have market makers like Citadel, which has $100 billion in securities they've sold, and they've never delivered those securities because they don't have them, and they don't give a shit. Now, what hedge funds can also do is they can go to the market maker and say, hey, market maker, I'm being looked at for short selling, naked short selling. Can I rent your short selling ability and short sell through you. And the market maker goes, okay. So the hedge fund sells as many shares as they want through the market maker, right? And they get this little equity swap package from the market maker that says that the hedge fund's responsible for it, but there's no owner record that really gets filed to anybody. And that's how a whole bunch of shares can get dumped in the market. Every once in a while, they get screwed, right? They're doing all these short sales. They're doing shady stuff. They're putting their board members on the boards of these companies and having them destroy the companies from the inside and hire Boston Consulting Group or whatever to really expensive consultancies, which involves like laying people off is their conclusions or selling off their hard assets like real estate. So there's nothing left of these companies. And now instead of like making money off the real estate they own, they're now spending money on renting back the space that they sold. And they're just destroying themselves from the inside, all thanks to these hedge funds. But every once in a while, say January 2021, a whole bunch of investors go, you know what? This company seems pretty viable to me. I'm going to buy it. And they buy so much of it, the price flies and goes above the point where the shorts have shorted, and now they owe boatloads of money. And then they can get margin called and liquidated and blinked out of existence and forced to close their positions, which can cause the price to fly even more. Now, we got to the point in 2021 where the margin calls were happening, but the liquidation was not happening yet. And that's when these brokers got together and like, let's just turn off the buy button because FOMO is causing the price to fly. And they turn off the buy button, the price stopped flying and saved every asshole in the system. So that's where we are. We're not going to try and make it happen all over again. And hopefully it'll involve butterflies. Okay. 4:02. I got 28 minutes, folks. 28 minutes left. And don't forget Charity Tuesday tomorrow. Charity Tuesday will be at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. And bring your wallets. We're going to raise thousands of dollars for whichever charity it is that I finally settle on. Okay. Zachary Delia. Wait, all our shares are gone. So how does this help us? Thanks. The shares are gone because we don't want those shares. Those shares represent a company that no longer exists. You don't want shares in Bed Bath & Beyond because the Bed Bath & Beyond we knew and loved is gone. What we want is distribution of new equity in Butterfly / Teddy / GME / Bye Bye Baby / whatever they bring out of it. We are still the owners of record of those shares. So if the distribution happens, they'll say, hey, we're going to distribute to all these shareholders. It will come to us. We're the owners of record of those original shares. So we are privy to that distribution. Joe Rocco, why is BBYQ just gone from my accounts? Because it's pending a merger. There's a merger happening, and they're removing the old shares in order to give you the new shares from that merger. So the shares have been removed. We're just waiting for an S1 to file and tell us what's going to happen now. And, that S1 could file any minute. I keep refreshing. Has it filed yet? Nope. Still nothing under Edgar. Okay, so that hasn't happened yet. But here we are, waiting. Snurtlert, oi, Houston. You said that you and Monkey Butt are not allowed to talk about Acme Company. What did Monkey Butt say about Acme? I can't tell you. The Fat Cat might try, but he'd probably start dry heaving on you. Jay Sheely, do you think this will be as big as the Dutch East India Trading Company? P.S. I think there's a historic correlation between the Blue Hope Diamond and VOC through the Hope banking family. I'll look that one up. I think this will be the biggest squeeze to ever happen in a market ever. That's what I think. I think the deal that's being put together right now for Ryan Cohen, and Ryan Cohen's behind, and possibly Carl Icahn and others, I think that this is going to be an example that gets taught in business schools and finance schools from this point forward of how not to fuck with powerful billionaires. Like, they got their money and now they're just being petty and they want to ruin you. They don't want to just like beat you on the field of battle. They want to bludgeon you in front of your family and then let you crawl back to them as this broken wreckage of embarrassment for generations to come. I do recommend to go watch that Restless Billionaire documentary on HBO about Carl Icahn. I'm glad somebody told me about it and I went out and watched it, because it shows that like Carl is vindictive. He is. He sees it. He sees this as purely competition, and one that if you don't show respect in that competition, he's going to make it personal, and he's going to belittle you in front of cajillions. That fight over Herbalife, and Herbalife, let's get it right. Herbalife is a garbage company that's a complete MLM scam. It is. But because who was shorting Herbalife pissed off Carl Icahn, because that guy personally slighted him, Carl Icahn made it his company's mission to ensure that Herbalife not only succeeded, but had stock reach record highs to just destroy the short position of this man and wipe him of billions of dollars in liquidity. So he can be petty. He can be really, 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 really petty when he pisses him off. And the shorts have pissed him off in a way that I think they will regret forever. And here we are in like a honeypot holding situation, and the shorts can't get out. They can't voluntarily close. They can't be like, oh shit, writing's on the wall, I'm going to close at 7 cents. Nope, your broker's not going to let you close out now. You are responsible for whatever happens next. And, man, yummy. Suljo Kozennik. If we get equity in 7 companies, is that 7 times our shares, or we have our shares divided in 7 companies? I don't know. I mean, if it's 7 times the shares, that'd be awesome, because it makes our liability go up 7 times. Come on. Oh yes, look at you. This is a dog who expects 7 treats right now. So they could just split our shareholdings into these 7 companies. Be like, okay, 1 for 7, 1 for 7, 1 for 7, 1 for 7, and so on. Or they could be like, hey, we're just going to do a 1 for 1 on these 7 companies. And now instead of having 100,000 shares in Bed Bath & Beyond, you now have 700,000 shares, 100 each in each one of these companies, which would be fantastic. So, oh, is that the sound you wanted, monkey? Yeah, is that why? Oh, look at you. All right, some stinky. Oh, they smell so chickeny. I've never smelled chicken as strong as what's in this bag. Hey, there's the orange cat. Hey, orange cat. Okay, is that closed? Because I want the whole room to smell like chicken. Get up here. You want this? Yeah? Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah? Ready, you want this one? Or in front of the Jaws cam. Get it. There you go. So chickeny. Hi, orange cat. Sitting there pissed off the dog exists. She hates this dog so much. I think Houston should make a video of all the chats he didn't get to after each live stream so chat doesn't get skipped. I don't have enough voice. Like, I can already feel my voice fading. I got 21 minutes left. There's no way. I am exactly an hour behind in the chat. So, yeah. Josh Dobbs, does Pulte have a dog in this fight, or is he just grifting, or maybe he just wants to be with the cool kids? I think he has a dog in this fight. He and Ryan Cohen apparently share an attorney. Pulte is a big investor in GameStop. I wouldn't doubt if whatever package and put together with this $10 billion is coming from, if he's got his fingers in it. Did you see the Twitter exchange between he and Platinum Sparkles, that shill lady? And he was like, let's just speak hypothetically, Platinum Sparkles. What happens if there's a huge injection of capital into this dead company? And then she wouldn't answer him. He's like, no, really, what would be your response if, say, one day there's billions of dollars more than you ever expected available? Would you still consider this a dead play? And she's like, what people need to do is they need to talk to their broker about realizing their losses and ask to give up their shares so they get their tax loss, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, not really. What would happen if suddenly billions of dollars showed up? That's what would happen. Billions of dollars just suddenly showed up out of the blue. What will happen? And why would Bill Pulte put that as an example out there? It's like hypothetical. It's a hypothetical, weeks ahead of time. What would happen if billions of dollars showed up? And here we are. Billions of dollars showed up. Now we got to see what's going to happen. SP, Houston, hi birthday. I'm trying to learn more about chunk of impact breccia from Ontario. Do you happen to know if there are differences between impact melt breccia and fallback breccia, or the same thing? Fallback would be tektites, so those are different. Those usually form like droplets. So when you smash, you liquefy the earth, and you're in Europe and Ontario, so it's probably going to be like Abitibi greenstone or some ancient 3 billion year old chunk of rock out there that got smashed. And that rock, when it melts and refreezes, will have a different atomic age than the surrounding rock around it. Now, this could be in lava pools, this could be in deformations of the rock. But what you have with the tektites, this stuff, when it smashes, it liquefies and splatters outwards. Just like if you watch a slow motion of like a water droplet, you get this splash that comes out. And these things shoot upwards as molten goo and then freeze at some point. Some will make it all the way to outer space and then rain back down again. So these tektites are what you'll find strewn about, and they will be in droplet form because that's the shape they freeze into. Now, some of these breccias, some of these tektites, these can be like glass, depending on what materials. Like if there's a sandy area that gets impacted, it'll look very glass-like and be see-through. Some of them can look like basalt droplets, like the Cape Cod tektites. You find ones in like the ancient impact in Vietnam look very similar. Let's see if I can find a picture of these Cape Cod ones. Cape Cod tektites. Images. So yeah. So these Cape Cod tektites, they look like some can be kind of splattery like this. Other ones could look like big old eggs. These are stuff to get shot up. These are moldavites. These are the green glass ones from Bohemia in Czech Republic. And they get really crazy shapes in them. But most of the tektites from there, we can do like Vietnam tektites. These are also like basalty looking turds, look like pieces of coal and stuff like that. Let's see about Ontario. Indocanite, Thailandite. These are Thailand, tektite, rhyolite. I don't see any of these being Indochina. These are not Ontario at all. That's definitely moldavite. Tektite up to date. What, Canadian? Just Canadian tektites. These are Australian ones, Thailand. I don't see anything from Canadian tektites. I'm sure they exist. Oh, there's some Canadian ones. These are black ones from Canada. Beyond that, I don't know. Looking for droplets mostly. So there you go. Okay. Suljo Kojenik. How much longer after TM CEO announcement? Time frame, moon, please, and thanks. Well, by tomorrow, Butterfly is supposed to announce who the CEO is. If they don't announce who the CEO is, it can be a whopping $50 fine for them. So we may not have an announcement of CEO. They may just announce the plan administrators as current CEO too. But I'm hoping that they announce the CEO tomorrow, and that with it comes S1 filings. I'm impatient. I'm super impatient. I just want it now. I've been waiting years for something as delicious as this to happen. I'm just tired of waiting. I know you're tired of waiting. Just I don't know the time frame, but each day I wake up hoping an S1 document is filed. That's That's how expectant I am of it to happen any moment now. And my guess is the moment that I wake up and it's not filed, that's when it's going to get filed. So it's like watch pot never boils type thing. So I don't know, Sujo. I don't know. Just sit here and wait, twiddling our thumbs, thinking of better days. Antonio Baez, he's going to do a walk and talk with those questions with his dog at different parks and locales for fun. I could. But it'd be like this because I have no voice left. I should live stream a monkey butt walk. It's getting cold though, so we can't do the really long ones because it's dark so early. But next summer, monkey butt, you and I will live stream a walk. We'll live stream we'll just walk the city. We won't answer questions. It'll just be you and I walking, be picking up your turds, stopping and getting a meal at places, and just walk a giant 30-mile loop around the city. What do you say? Huh? Yeah? Cool. We eat plums, apples, whatever we happen to find along the way. Okay, that's a good plan. She's on board. Cherry Tuesday to get used to some quality internet connection. Sujo, what would S1 do for us? I don't know what that is. Sorry, new trader. An S1 is a document you file with the SEC, so with the regulators, about things you are doing, whether regards to dividends or change of shares or new equity or reverse splits or forward splits. If you're doing changes to the equity of your company, you have to file an S1. Now, most companies, they can file a standard S1, gets approved the minute it's filed, it's out there. Other companies, they want to do really spectacular things. It can take up to 40 days for them to get the approval from the SEC on what they're doing. But apparently, with a bankrupt company that has been removed from the market entirely, they do not have to wait for approval from the SEC. They can put whatever weird shit they want into the S1, file with the SEC, and it makes it good. There's no waiting for approval. They could do all the shareholders get a hand job, and the SEC has to go with it. So that's what S1's for. So the S1 would outline, cash distribution. It would outline delivered equities. Would outline if the company's going to split into multiple corporations and have subsidiaries, etc. So we're waiting on this S1. This S1 is probably going to be super complicated. It's probably going to be hundreds of pages long, citing all sorts of weird rules and laws. And so I expect it to be very, very complicated S1 with very, very, very delicious meat to it. And that's the meal we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for the S1 to get filed, and that's going to be the delicious steak we're going to eat, because it's going to tell us exactly what's going to happen and when it's going to unfold. That's going to be our timeline for us. So here we are, twiddling our thumbs, waiting for an S1. Twiddle, 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 twiddle. Yep. All right, got 12 minutes left, people. 12 minutes. Danny Fan, what's stopping them from shorting into the ground again once it relists? Well, if there's a cash distribution when it relists, then there's no hope they can short to the ground, because they're going to get vaporized off the cash alone. They're going to owe tens or hundreds of billions of dollars in payment in lieu on all the things they borrowed and they shorted. And then there might be floor prices of the multiple securities that come out of this, the multiple companies, which all have their own floor prices well above anything that they shorted at. So they won't have the power to short anything, because they're going to blink out of existence. You can only short if you can get margin. If you can't get margin, you cannot short. And if your margin explodes and you have nothing but liability, and then they liquidate all your assets, well, then you have infinite margin until that stuff is closed. And there's just no way. They can't. The mechanism to short does not exist if they don't have margin to play with. Rupert Trooper, Houston, testing. Can you see this? I can see it, Rupert. It just takes me a long time to get to the chats, bud. So I am 1 hour and 8 minutes behind in the chat. So it took a while. Belgian whale, listening to Houston, watching Aussie gold hunters at the same time. Full circle. Are they out there? Are they metal detecting out in the outback, or are they like in a canyon somewhere trying to get gold out of a valley, or are they digging in a hole? Okay. So Bias Houston should upgrade his show to a PP type format where he gets his regulars on, even just as modes to his audience. I think that might be kind of fun, especially with special guests. I have no idea how to do that. I don't know. I can't remember the program PP was using for that. It might be above and beyond my, not my technical ability, but my technical attention span. Because once it involves like 3 layers of software, and I just check out, man. I'm not the tech guru I once was. I just don't care enough anymore. Pivian is just me, or is he broadcast from Potato? I'm broadcasting from Potato. Yes. Andrew Stewart, Houston, why isn't gold oxidized? It does not have any free electron. What would we call it? What would we call it in chemistry? Electron ports? That doesn't make any sense. So when you have an atom, you have these electron fields that are around the atom, and some of them represent great ways to connect another atom to your structure, and you can make compounds really easily. So like carbon, the way carbon is structured, it's got these 6 ports, and it makes it really easy to like build stuff out of the carbon. It loves to electronically bond with things. Other things like noble gases, you cannot. Their electron fields make it impossible to bond anything because there's just the structure it's in. Gold is similar. You really just can't bond gold into compounds. You can make alloys with it. You can mix it with these other metals so the electrons kind of flow freely, but you're not going to chemically bond them to anything. So there's no spot for an oxygen atom to stick itself to gold, and so it won't oxidize that way. Which is why why they call it the noble metal. Other metals oxidize really quickly. Uranium oxidizes quickly. Copper oxidizes quickly. Silver oxidizes quickly. Aluminum's slow at it. Iron does it pretty quickly. But gold does not. So you bury gold somewhere or sink it in a ship and come by 1,000 years later, it's going to look exactly like it did when it went missing. Marcus Hoffren, what is the favorite food of Mexican ducks? Guac. Quack. TM, do you mind pie on your phone? I do mind pie on my phone. Every day it says, time to mine pie, and I push a little button and it mines pie. Yeah, so there you are. KYP Houston's have a win this year. BBYQ, GTII, Finger, MMTLP. I'm in all this shit stocks. Me too. But remember, if you're in shit stocks and these meme stocks, also put some aside for the regular, retirement plans for your ETFs and your index funds and mutual funds and blue chips. Always have a set amount each month that goes to that you just don't think about. It just disappears. $400 or $500 a month just disappears into that, and you just don't think about it. And then you've got your fun plays where it could be a lot of tickets, and it gives us lots of time to talk about fun stuff. Snort alert, all hail Houston's mom. Javier a spy got hammered last week, so I got calls and sold for 100% profit. Held a call and go to puts, thinking about getting more GME, but how low can it go? You might be in there, man. Might be somewhere in there. BW Brand, India's richest man built a $2 billion 28-story high home and only 4 people live in it. Not unheard of. Just crazy. I thought they didn't he put his I think it's his family, and then it has maids and butlers and maintenance guys and stuff in there too, right? Moonget. Houston, quick question. My TD account is transferring to Schwab finally this Friday. They have already announced transaction history will not transfer. Where can I access it? How BBYQ distribute for me? Ooh, that's a good question. You should be able to log in on the web and go to your transaction history and download it and have a paper copy of it in case shit gets crazy. That's a good question, though. I think calling and have a hissy fit with whoever's on the other end might be a great way to make your case, because I have to record those phone calls and stuff. So have a hissy fit and get them to confirm online that yes, you did buy these shares, and that way, if push comes to shove, you can be like, go, let's record a phone call on this date with this person. It's there. Oh, I lost my spot. Where'd you go? Where were we? Oh, we're not. Oh my God, we're so far behind. Okay, that's Ranger's question. That's Broadcasting Potato question. That is Moanget. Liability distribution will happen to some extent, but I'm not sure if Schwab will try to shake me out. I do have downloaded copies of purchase history already. Okay, so you got the download copies already. You got that. Cool. Definitely make a phone call and be like, hey, I just want you to know I'm going to have a shit fit if this distribution happens and you swap me over from TD to Schwab and I don't get it. Their heads will roll. So I get that in there. Seraphim, Houston, much love. So what I'm getting from all this is that BBY is the demon core of shorts. Yes. Yes. Avocados bought more GMT. Got my DRS confirmation on previous shares. There you go. Avocados, did you ever get the cats homegrown? I have a homegrown up here. I still have a bag that Chalupa Batman bit into that's leaking it everywhere, and so I've been going through that first. Right? This is not a treat. But you know you think it is. It's just my hand. It's just my handy sweet dog. I've got 3 minutes, monkey. Let's we gotta get to a couple more questions, then I gotta run away. Aaron Sound Team with MMTLP, so I can quit my job at Macy's Houston. I might keep the election clerk job part-time. I enjoy it. Then do that. Do the things you enjoy. That's the entire purpose. Like some people, they might quit the job they have and start a new job that they love, right? Like I may start TV show job, traveling country, traveling world, looking at rocks. I don't care if people watch. I'll be doing it for my own benefit. Other folks may just find that all they want to do is volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club, or pull weeds for local conservation group, or sit and stare off into space. Maybe all I want to do is play video games all day long. The whole point of MMTLP is that you will have all the options afforded to you that you want to do. And I hope you choose at least a portion of that in the using the wealth and power and privilege to at least make someone's lives better, right? It can be maybe one person's life better than yours, or help out or volunteer or donate or create foundations and just do awesome stuff with it that you want to see the change in the world, and you now have the opportunity to like facilitate that change in a way that others have not over time. Abhishek, do you think the MMTLP would adversely impact big banks in Canada? Yes. Yes. I think big banks everywhere are screwed. William Jones, Carl Icahn, planning on something they'll never forget. We're talking about that last June. They had like $12 billion set aside to just ruin Short's day. Tex Bra at CFDs, do you think I will receive new shares as well? I don't know. I would assume. Yeah. Okay. William Jones, big fish will swallow the assets of the smaller fish in an attempt to keep other stock prices from tanking. Yeah. Yep. William Jones, if those administering this provide some reasonable payout to common shareholders, used to be since canceled, then for sure we'll keep money in those companies forever. Exactly. I think what Ryan Cohen is trying to do is create loyalty for whatever thing, G-America or whatever comes out of this. I do think he's trying to create a holding company in the style of like Berkshire Hathaway. And he wants loyal shareholders who will stick with him through all sorts of plays in the future. He's building that. He's a little baby billionaire, and he's building that for the future, and he wants to carry all of you with him. And so he's looking for that loyalty. And if he were to screw everyone over on this play, his dreams of creating a company like that would be over because no one will trust him again. Thermocline trust will be broken. People will bail on GameStop. They'll bail on anything he touches. So the importance of making sure this payout happens for everyone who's invested is a really, really big deal in fostering that loyalty for a future Berkshire Hathaway type company. Squamps, tomorrow's gonna be so spooky. Ooh. Oh shit, it's 4:31, I gotta go. Everybody, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow for Charity Tuesday in 21 and a half hours. So bring your pocketbooks. Get ready to make Charity Tuesday just fantastic. I'm probably gonna set that show up right now and get it launched right before I have to leave. So from myself, the fat cat, the monkey dog on the floor staring at me right now, all of us will see you tomorrow. And enjoy your day. After daytime intro, that one. Bam.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Houston, we have a problem.